NCRP Productions presents Unhallowed Metropolis, Secrets in the Sands, Episode 15. Well, good evening, and welcome back to Unhallowed Metropolis, Secrets in the Sands. This is Barry, and I'm going to run around the room, have everyone introduce themselves, and we'll get started.
Hey everybody, it's Pedro playing Dr. Desmond Wright.
Hi, it's Sequoia, and I'm playing Frankie the Undertaker.
Hi everyone, it's Ty. I'm running Ray Callahan, the Pugilist.
Hello, this is Michael. I'm playing Dr. Everett Wolf, the doctor specializing in alchemy and chemistry.
This is Matt. I'm playing Ayden, and big shout out to our fans north of the border and across the pond.
This is Jill, and I'm playing Raya the Mourner.
All right, so when last we left, really the focus was upstairs. Dr. Wright had been brought into Cal's room. Marood let him in. Frankie was at the door. Marood gave Frankie a look and shut the door. The doctor went over and was checking the suturing job that Dr. Wolf did on Cal. And Cal has been allowing the doctor to check everything out. At one point when Wright got to the lower portion of Cal's injuries, at that point, Cal had asked about how Wright had thought the suture work was. And you had said, well, he was good, you know, basically as good as I was when when I was his age. And Cal looks at you and says, I think your work was near perfect. At which point, Wright has been aware that something is up. Wright's been uncomfortable.
Yeah, and Wright, at the moment Cal says that, Wright 100% knows, and he's ready. He's feeling ready to have a conversation.
Gotcha. So,
you know what?
I'm going to have you give me a wits roll.
Oh, actually, that's pretty good. That is 20.
Okay. So, you actually hear Marood. Not that it's going to help you.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Go ahead and tell me, what is your coordination?
He's going to kill him.
Well, wait, how long have we... It makes a difference because I took coordination as lessened by meth, but we have it's a while
That was
ago.
last night.
Okay, cool.
true.
So then it's a 4.
It's a 4. Very good. So, outside Frankie, what you're going to hear is going to be a single step. Your character would be listening for everything at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is a single step. There's going to be a loud thump that does not sound to you like a body hitting the ground, but something metallic hitting the ground. And we'll figure out from there what's next. So for you, Dr. Wright, Cal says that Cal again has leaned up, so envision that Cal is up on his hands with the elbows crooked in the upper part of the body, bent up at the waist. Marood grabs you. His right hand, he drops the pistol out of its grip, which is the thump you hear. With his left hand, he grabs a hold of your arm, puts that up into a half Nelson. The other arm he brings behind your back, and it's your move.
Okay, well that completely derails every thought I had before this game. So,
I'm gonna have a good conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Goodness. I didn't realize I needed a chiropractor so bad.
Yeah. Oh, you cracked my back. Okay, so I mean, I'm completely pinned.
For the moment, yes.
Yeah.
You were on edge. You are now held.
No. I mean, at that point, my Marood, he's not choking me, right?
Nope, he's not choking you.
He says, my Marood, you are quite a fast one.
And so Cal looks up at you, covers himself to the waist, pulls the covers back up the waist, and he says, Doctor, we need to talk.
Cal, my boy, I was thinking something quite similar.
So you are hearing hushed tones, Frankie, unless you're, glass up against the door.
No, I'm listening for, raised voices, signs of a fight.
There is nothing of that.
Yeah, so I'm just hanging out
Should
listening.
have had a danger word.
Yeah, well,
Very-
it's
If I hear
it's not
Frankie
much of a
move, I'm at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
I will rush up the stairs,
Gotcha.
too.
All right. So Marood lifts you up as if you were nothing. You don't feel him strain at all. He lifts you up. He sets you into the single chair, and still holding your left arm up, he slides you in the chair up to the bed, releases your arm, and then you feel him move away from you. Do you turn around, or do you keep
No,
your eyes
I
on Cal?
think at this point it doesn't matter what I do.
So Cal looks at you, again covered, and says, Doctor, would you like to confess something?
Well, now, Cal, my boy, I have a feeling that I don't need to confess anything for it seems you already have an idea of what has happened, yes?
I do. I'm just curious about the physician that doesn't ask more questions.
Well, see, Cal, my boy. Cal, you seem like a man of action.
I was a person of action
Yes.
then and now.
You seem like you have drive, like you have goals, things you want in life, yes?
Yes.
We all have things that we want in life. We all have things that we would do anything for in life, yes?
Yes.
I have been a doctor for longer than you have been alive.
I believe that's true.
I've helped many people. I've had many people die under my knife. I've done everything I could to help those under my knife, and when the fateful day that contract was brought to me signed, well, as far as I could tell legally, it was signed. If you are under any impression that what happened had any hint of anything more than business, I apologize for that. It was simply a transaction, and you were the unfortunate one that was in the middle. I would say I'm sorry in the respects of you didn't ask for it, it seems.
Doctor, I will let you know that you freed me. Not in a way that I would have wished, but you freed me. My concern is what you gave to me, you had to have taken from somebody else. So,
Yeah, I can't remember.
What you had
Yeah.
was you had, at the time that you were brought the offer, there was a man, I can go check for the name, there was a man who came in with them.
Yeah, they just had everything I needed, right?
Yeah, he had spoken with you, there was a signed transfer of organ, and that was done to give money to his family. A lot of money, enough that his family would have been set, at least, not the word comfortably, but his family would have been set for at least 5 years from that. And he had already a number of children. He was not fearful of losing that ability.
So I'll say, well, I'm sure since you have such a good idea of what's already going on, you've already looked into it, and you know that the donor who donated that was compensated for that. As far as I knew, at least. If that's not the case, why that's tragic, but of course that Cal, my boy, that's out of my hands.
I don't know the man. I didn't search that direction. My search was to find out who did this to me. You don't hear malice in the voice. Cal is not raising his voice at all, either. Step for a sec. Frankie, you're not going to hear this inside the room. The door will open. Are you literally, like, right there?
I'm ready, yeah.
No, but I'm saying, are you literally right there at the door, like...
I'm not leaned
leaning
on
in?
it. I'm
Alright.
standing. I'm leaning against the wall beside the door.
Okay. So Marud will open the door in an attempt to not allow anyone past him, whether there's someone who's outside or not, and will slide out. The
I'm
door
not gonna
shuts
rush him, yeah.
silently,
Okay.
and Marud puts his hands across his chest and stands in front of the now closed door. He doesn't say anything to you. He's not staring at you. You don't think he's looking directly at you, but you are certain he knows you're there.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out my pack of cigarettes and offer him one.
He shakes his head one time in a sideways no.
I'll put it back in my pocket and smoke my own, and I'll just stay leaning on the wall.
All right. Are you blowing the smoke at him or anything?
No,
Okay.
Frankie genuinely likes Marud. He
Okay.
wants them to be buddies. This is a weird situation, but he likes Marud.
Okay.
So he's just here.
So back inside.
So, my question is, you found the man.
No, I did not. Again, I didn't go searching for him. I was trying to find the one who did it, not the one who was taken from.
The one who performed
Donor.
the surgery?
Yes, that's how I know it's you. You never wondered why I ended up in the Explorer Society with you in Prussia? You never wondered why I got onto the Zeppelin with you in the group? This was never... Doctor, you can't be that unaware.
Well,
I mean, I am friends with Aaron. I was able to worm my way in. He holds affection for me that I still don't truly understand.
well, Cal, my boy, the moment I saw you, I knew. How could I not? I did the work. And it's not You don't need to be a smart man to understand. I mean, if someone in your position, I, of course, would imagine you would want to... Well, to be honest, I'm surprised I'm still alive with someone as capable as yourself and Marood there. Why, he could have taken my head off without me even knowing. And furthermore, you don't need any of us as far as I can tell. You could have done that and been out of this house before anybody knew. Except for maybe dear Frankie. I think Frankie would have figured it out pretty quickly. He's smarter than most give him credit for. But my question is, why am I still alive, Cal? If you had even an inkling that it was me, why not just finish it?
Because, Doctor, you freed me. That's it. That's simple. As Katie, I was constantly controlled by my family. I had no freedoms, no ability to do anything. As Cal, I can do everything. I can do anything that I want, anything that I set my mind to.
Yes, well...
I am not thrilled with how I got this freedom.
I imagine so.
But as I said, I was more concerned with the person who gave up their abilities to allow me to do this. Do you believe that what you've done allows me to perform completely as a man in every way? What does the doctor think?
I mean, player me doesn't know if that's... I mean, I would think,
So,
yes. I mean, it's medical...
I'm asking you. What does the doctor say?
If you could put somebody's brain in a vat.
Yeah, I imagine at this point, yeah, I'd be like, well,
Only one way to
as you
find
know...
out.
No, keep talking.
Yeah. Terrible, all of you. I'm trying to have a medical conversation here.
Yes, and we're giving you a practical.
Not practical. Well,
Don't men have hysteria too?
Yes.
Jill.
Good one, Jill.
Yeah,
That we
That
have
was
the fraud.
yeah, that was
five.
a good one. I'll say, well, my work is, as you've said, perfect. I believe you'll be able to do, as you said, whatever you set your mind to. Now, this does bring a question going forward, because, Cal, can we be honest here? I feel like, considering Marood could have killed me, and it has not, we were discussing this, that we could be straightforward, yes.
We can.
I was under the impression that you most likely wanted my demise, and we were having a good little game of cat and mouse. And I got to admit, I had anticipated having to undo my work, so to speak, and go further.
If you were to undo the work you've done for me, would that do anything for the poor chap that it was taken from?
No, it would simply alleviate a paranoia of an old man.
Then in that case, Doctor, I can free you of that fear. I don't want to return to the way I was.
Well, and you harbor no will to end me for my part in this?
I have no interest in ending you. I have an interest in keeping you around, keeping you in good shape, keeping you capable as you are.
That is wonderful, because Cal, I would have been so upset to have to end you. You are a capable person, and quite frankly, we don't have many people in our group that, well, can speak the local language, so it would have been quite difficult on us. So I think it's a good thing that neither of us need to end each other. So? What?
Dr. Wright is sick. Dr. Wright is the most narcissistic person.
And I am, to be honest, quite especially happy that I don't have to be ended by Marood. I feel like it would be painless, and unless you told him otherwise. But Cal, it seems we are at an understanding then. Yes.
We are at an understanding, as long as you understand. You're mine from here on out.
Oh. Dun, dun, dun.
I will not get in your way. I will most certainly keep you alive.
Yes. And what is it you want in return?
There will be something. We'll see what that ends up being. Just know that I know.
Excellent. Well, I believe that's workable.
Very good. Doctor, if you would send Marood back in when you leave. And Cal leans back, down, puts his head on the pillow, and pulls the covers up to cover his chest.
And so, yeah, I'll stand up. I'll go over and I'll just gesture to my gun, pick it up, holster it, go over to my valise, pick up my jacket, put my jacket on, and I'll say, Cal, do you want anything to help with the pain? Any sedative? Anything to help you sleep?
No, Dr. Wolf gave me something. I'm good.
Excellent. Well, and I'll say, well, Cal, this was a good talk. I look forward to our future dealings. I'll take a few...
He nods one time, too.
And I'll take a few steps forward and then kind of look back and say... I'll look back and say, Cal, I think this will be a fun little game. And then I'll wink at him and then walk out.
Okay. So, Frankie, behind Marud, the door opens. Marud simply turns completely around, says, Doctor, and
Marud,
allows you to pass.
Yeah, I'll say, Marud, you are requested inside.
Very good.
You
Step out, he steps in and shuts the door behind you. You're now standing there with Frankie.
Oh, Frankie, my boy. How are you? And I'll pat you on the shoulder.
Fine. Everything good?
Yes, but you look a little shaken up, Frankie. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Excellent, Frankie. Well, Cal and I had a nice little chat, and he's looking tip-top shape. Go ahead.
Do you have any idea of when we'll leave this place?
Oh, hopefully soon. I think there's plenty of adventures to be had out here, and plenty of games to play.
Not to mention the ticket for your head right now.
Oh, yes, that too. I still want to know, what did I do? What did I do here, specifically?
It's almost not worth thinking about.
Almost not worth thinking about. That's how I get through life anyway. So, Frankie, let's go. I'm quite famished, actually. Let's join the others, maybe get some food.
Back downstairs, as far as I know, everybody is there except Billings and Myling, who left.
Yes.
I know they went downstairs for a brief moment, but I don't know where they went after that.
That's actually correct. I apologize. They did not leave. They are in the kitchen. So downstairs, everyone else, as far as I know, Ayden is done cleaning up and is just sitting downstairs. Ray has, I'm assumed, finished now the workout that you were doing.
Yeah, I was going to go on a run, but after whatever happened here, I got a little uneasy. I decided I'm going to wait on the run.
Okay, very good. Wolf came back downstairs when Wright went up. What did you go do? Basically, the question is, who all has eaten?
Well, Wolf ate a lot this month.
Yep, Wolf ate. I know that. Frankie ate. I also know that Billings and Myling did.
I gave Ray
I ate a little
Raya
bit.
ate.
Yeah.
Frankie and I are going
Like
to
before
eat.
my workout.
Okay. So that leaves Ayden, who has not, Ray, who has not, to my knowledge. But the group of you are
I'll pick up
downstairs.
food. I mean,
Myling and Billings will come out, and Billings will come up to you, Ayden, where you're sitting. And Ayden, my friend, I am curious at this point. Do you think it's going to be safe to go back to the marketplace? Do you think we can get some of the items that we purchased from the marketplace? How long do these things take?
Should be doable. Want to take them over there?
You look over at Ray.
Yeah.
to be perfectly honest, Ayden, I really don't think we should be sticking around here very long.
Everybody is downstairs, so everybody at the table can.
As much things have been going on the last day. We've got one of us has a price on his head.
That's me.
I agree with Ray. I think
As much as
Well, I can take care of that while you guys are away.
the longer
Alright.
we're in town, worse things will be.
as long as we're moving towards getting the hell out of Dodge, if you know what I mean.
Well, how long until the Zeppelin? How long was this trip supposed to be? I was a little
Zeppelin's
fuzzy
coming
on
back
that.
in like 3 weeks, right?
Zeppelin's a ways out. Yeah, the Zeppelin is not a concern at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
We still need to go into the desert. We need to do what we came here to do.
Last week, Ayden had sent a messenger pigeon out to the Bedouins to let them know that you guys will be a couple of days late.
Right.
So that connection is still open.
And the Bedouins, they'd be the closest one to being able to help us find something in the desert, right?
In the desert, yes.
Yeah.
The 4 things, if I remember correctly, you guys have four things to do. The Bedouins are not any part of any of those.
Oh, okay. Then
Uh,
maybe we don't need to deal with them.
Helping you find the Temple of
They
Arnak,
need
Karnak.
help.
Yep.
find the Tomb of Ai,
Yep.
the city of Akhenaten,
Akhenaten, yep.
That's
and look at the Bedouin's friends who are having some
Right.
issues.
So there's 3 things plus he added the.
And the exorcism was taken care of, so I can mark that off my list.
we need to,
Allegedly.
Ayden, we have these temples and tombs we need to find. Do you have any idea either? It seems like you might not know where they are. They sound like they might be lost, but who might be able to find us, or how would we even go about that in this
You guys
area?
kind of see Billings not dancing, kind of moving a bit as Wright is talking.
Can't wait to shut this guy down.
I look over at him and say, "Do you need something?"
Well, no. I was just thinking that the temples reminded me you were going to show us the burial temples. Is today that day? I mean, you look fine.
Oh.
Billings in the same way that Wright kind of misses things,
Yeah.
so does Billings.
So, how about...
And remember that Billings basically was not down for any of the fun and festivities last night.
Can you head with them to go pick up...
Yeah, I can take you to the market district, but work on getting us out of here.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do that.
So, Ray and everyone else who was at the market, based on what you remember, you don't think there's a market.
Well,
ship
I
burnt
went to
down.
a shop that I have to get stuff from.
Yes, yes. But those things that were purchased in the market, the shop was for getting the armor, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a ways
What
away
did
from
you
the market.
purchase, Billings?
Oh, a few things. A special mask. I believe he was going to do one of Sobek for me. I would be rawr. I'd be like an alligator. It'd be wonderful. And then a couple of trinkets, some clothing for my beautiful wife. And you guys look over Melee, and she's just standing there with almost no expression.
1,000 yards.
we had some shoes that we were getting. The marketplace just had so much
Billings,
stuff.
will you get to the point?
We're all interrupting Billing.
Yes.
Doctors, how soon can Cal travel again?
In my expert opinion, I would say he's going to need at least several days' time to heal up. With the right amount of alchemical formulae, which I suppose Wolf should be able to come up with, and might be able to speed up the process slightly.
Can we get those ingredients, Dr. Wolf, here?
Yes.
Assuming...
Actually, I have a bunch of ingredients. That grow myself. I'm sure there's something you can find.
That's where you got the hashish.
I'll take a look through your. I'll take a look through your garden. If there's anything I need, I'll let you know.
I do feel that Cal and Marood are important to this expedition.
I do as well. I think we should keep them close to us.
Sure, why not? The masked guy, he was an actual shop, correct?
He was actually inside the marketplace.
Oh, we know where he lives, though.
Yeah, but currently where he lives is a pile of ash. So,
Allegedly.
or at least that was my understanding of what you just told me.
You can go by his house. You may have it there.
Remember the marketplace. So yeah, all of you that went to the marketplace, I will remind you, the ENP came through with flamethrowers and pretty much burned it to the ground. There's going to be blackened sticks sticking up, but that market is going to have to rebuild.
Yeah, they're just going to have to clean it up first and all that, so...
Yeah, Billings, I'm afraid you're going to have to wait on those items you purchased. There was a little bit of an incident last night.
An incident? Like what?
You know, the dead started showing up in the marketplace, and, well, the ENP have a certain...
Wait. So you're saying the animals, or I believe you people call them Shadim? They were there. I thought when we landed, I thought you, Ayden, had told us that they don't walk in Cairo at all. Did we miss that?
Billings, this is there's animates all over the world, boy. They're everywhere. So yes, there's animates here, and
was the
sometimes they
first.
pop up.
What was that?
That was a first.
And Billings. So Billings hears that, stops for just a moment, and looks over the entire crew.
It's almost like trouble follows us.
You say that while he's looking. You can see he kind of deflates a little bit. He says, "So does that mean if this is the first that it could happen again? What held them in check? Why did they?"
There's a lot of speculation. Some believe it was ancient Egyptian magic. Some believe that there was some sort of head zombie that controlled them.
But I mean, if it was Egyptian magic, ancient magic, why would it end yesterday?
That's a good question. Why?
And I mean, if there was a zombie, what'd you call it? A head zombie? If there was a head zombie lords, actually, in our home, there's concern of something called a zombie lord. If there was a zombie lord, what would have happened to it?
We can certainly speak of this later. We have things to do before we can leave.
Yes. Well, getting my stuff and my
There is
my
no
wife's...
stuff to get, dude.
That's a weird slang.
Yes, my word. Where, I like that, dude. It rolls off the tongue.
So
My God, man, you sound like an American.
Americans.
Well,
The entire marketplace was burned to the ground by the EMP. They probably won't be able to set it up for at least a couple days, probably even a week.
But he may have some other mask at his place.
I don't know where he lives.
I can tell you where he lives.
I've been there. I can get us
Of
there.
course
Let's
you
just
can
go.
tell us where he lives.
well, good. Then Mei Ling and I are ready. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
So who's going?
I think me and Ray and then Billings.
Okay, and
You
Mei
pay
Ling.
the billings.
Anyone else?
I'll go too.
And Raya.
I wish.
You're not
Yeah.
going.
Well,
All the-
I mean,
Yes,
I mean,
all the
I'm-
fighters go.
I'm actually
I'll say, I mean, like, I do hate being cooped up in this house.
No, you're staying here.
I'm actually going to. Wolf's going to stay as well. He wants to talk with Wright anyway about doctor-patient confidentiality.
So Wolf,
If I want to talk about
so Wolf, Wright, and Ayden are staying back. Okay, and then of course Cal and Marud are upstairs. Does anyone go up and say anything to them, or
Yeah, I will. I'll run up.
okay?
Yeah, I want to. So I'll knock on the door.
Yep. Marud opens it. Yes.
I had some things to ask you, friend. The first being, we are making our way into town to pick up a few more supplies before we head out again. Are you interested in joining us?
No, but if you're going to get the armor,
Yes.
maybe you could pick up ours.
Absolutely.
Actually,
And he turns around, does not shut the door on you, goes over out of the actually it'd be a side table, opens a drawer and brings you 2 pieces of paper. He said, "These are ours."
And then the second thing I wanted to ask is, how soon does Cal feel he'll be ready to travel again?
And Marud just looks towards the bed, and Cal says, possibly soon, day or two.
Okay.
I haven't spoken with either of the doctors. Possibly they could give me something I could go sooner. The leg wound is the one that's giving me the most pause at this point.
I do believe, I fear, we'll be traveling on camel. I don't know if that changes your answer. But the doctors mentioned a few days as well. But I know that we are made of tougher stuff. So,
We are.
Okay, well, I will certainly procure your armor and feel better soon.
All right, Marud says thank you and shuts the door.
Yeah, he'll go back downstairs.
Okay. Downstairs crew.
So I was going to say, before that, when they were talking about,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say, camel rides. The best ride you can get. They'll be fine.
Camel rides suck. Literally the most uncomfortable thing you could possibly do.
I'm just picturing some fucked up, like, crazy camel with, like, fangs and stuff.
Oh, that's mine.
This is a blight camel and bites you.
Blight camel,
It's
yeah.
got venom.
One's got it's got a little twitch. Side head, side head,
Just,
side
like,
head.
goes in circles.
so before they leave, I do want to check his garden to see if there's enough ingredients to make more stitch.
Okay. Does it have an actual ingredients list in the book?
No.
Okay. So go ahead and give me an intelligence. No, give me a medicine roll.
You want
No,
medicine
give
or
me an alchemy roll.
There we go.
Where's
Oh,
my
just
list
give
of
him some
skills?
hide. He'll be fine.
It'll all shake out in the end. Hopefully nothing else happens.
That's a lot better. So 20.
So with a 20, going over the ingredients, he does not have everything, but you do believe that you could make it from what he has.
Okay. He doesn't have everything, but I could make it from what he has.
And what are you looking to make?
I'm trying to make some stitch because
Stitch,
the more
okay.
stitch,
Yeah.
stitch. Well, it's useful on it's
No, I
going
was
to be
just
useful on a
asking,
lot of
is
things.
that the only one you're making?
That's the only one I'm making.
All right. So
it's mainly to try and like speed up Cal's because if they receive a daily dose of stitch during convalescence, they will recover in half the normal time.
gotcha.
So
Yes.
Since I have alchemy, could I maybe find an equivalent he's looking for?
That's
that he could use?
what's
Okay.
done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I would
I
have
thought
you,
I might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, can you add to rolls in this? Like, can you do stuff together?
we Not officially. We've
Okay.
been doing that where I've had the other person make a roll with a success. I add a +1 or a
Yeah.
+2 depending on what type of thing. In this case, had he rolled, it would give him a +2, but not necessary. So, in talking with, and I'm assuming you guys head there and say, everyone wait here until we go look. In heading out, going over to your place. So your retail space is downstairs.
Right.
So when we've been talking about things, we've always been envisioning, or at least we've been talking as if it's on the first floor. The things we're talking about always are on the second floor, including a set of steps out to a balcony, which is where Raya's gone out and sat. You can get down to the lower level from the outside and from the inside. But the two of you head over. It's a short time when you go through. In addition to stuff that is actually in garden, you have a number of things in vial. And you have enough ingredients with a successful roll to produce 4 doses.
Okay. Are you going to be using any of these for anything in particular?
Are you asking Ayden?
I'm asking Ayden since I'm assuming he went through me. With me.
No. Go, please.
We'll have enough to make 4 doses. I'll probably only need half of that for Cal in the next few days.
Okay.
Alchemy is more a hobby for me than a profession.
So as you guys come back to the other side, let them know. Are you guys then ready to leave?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
So, Dr. Wolf, just so we're not bound by it, I know you have a talk with Wright, but so we're not bound with it, go ahead and give me your alchemy roll. I don't think there's an actual rule for... Is there a set of rules for actually making...
No, the damage, the DR is 14, so I have to beat 14.
Right.
It's production time is 6 hours.
Okay.
So that's pretty much...
That's great. I love they have that much information.
Yep. Nope, the alchemy is pretty... They got a lot of good stuff for the alchemy stuff. 17, yeah.
So 17. So it is going to take you the full 6 hours.
Mhm.
And Ayden, are you intent on watching?
Once he's set and doing stuff, I am going to go downstairs. I'm going to call my camel guy and get some camels.
My camel guy.
And
What's your
So
camel
now, are
guy's
you
name?
envisioning having them camel into town?
I'm
Or you mean
imagining
for
we're
the
going to meet them
Bedouins?
at the edge of town to get our camels so I can lead them to the Bedouins.
All right, so that's you're trying to set that up.
Yeah.
What's
So
your camel
what-
guy's name?
My camel guy's name?
Yeah.
Phil.
Phil the camel guy.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Phil the camel guy here. Got camels for you. Got camels for you.
Not for you though.
But not for you.
Sunday. Every camel is half off.
You're doing
Should
a
have been
pound
Larry.
error. I
Should
am
have been Larry, the
crushed.
camel guy.
Yeah.
Camel guy. Oh.
That Larry's
Yeah.
his middle name.
Larry.
His name is Phil. He goes by Larry.
Yeah.
So, one of the things, Ayden, that's going to be important to you, the group is eating food faster than you had expected. You're not certain why.
What's this crazy 3 meals a day?
right. And what you're going to get from it is you did it as if they were living on a diet similar to what you guys eat here, but they are not. They're pretty much all of them, whether you guys have talked about it or not, are eating a bit more every time because it's fresh in most cases and it has a flavor in most cases. The Scott they're used to does not.
And
So
I'm going to
that's-
take the blame for eating a good portion of
Sure.
the stores this morning.
So that's going to be important for you to get food, and with the marketplace gone, that is going to mean you're going to have to get out and go trading.
Well, I do have 4 pounds of scop I had saved. I
So
figured
you
that's
can bring that in.
I figured that's what I took on, like, out into the desert. Because
Right. I mean, yes, that's basically it. So do you bring that in and set that in the in the other room? Okay.
Awesome of our fine cuisine.
Reminds me of home.
I like to dip mine in coffee.
That's for
All right.
the trip.
So for the group that's heading into town, how are you going there?
Oh, I thought we were gonna walk.
Yeah, I thought we were just walking.
Okay, walking is fine. I'll remind you, Ray, that Ayden had a vehicle that you guys had used.
Yeah, I thought we were just kind of ignoring that for a little bit. But
Yep.
okay, yeah.
Egyptian drift, guys. Come on.
I don't know if it goes that far.
We might want to take the vehicle if we have a lot of things to bring back with us.
That's true.
Wait a minute. How much did Mailing and Billings order? Oh, God. This is
Well,
unrolled.
Mei Ling didn't order a dang thing.
Nope.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's. How much
Typical
attention is that car gonna cost? Is gonna.
Well, again, there are a few vehicles around. That part is not, but If somebody connects it to something else,
But you guys aren't wanted for anything right now.
We
Yet.
are not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not to
You
change
might be
that.
wanted for breaking your neighbor's nose. I mean,
No one likes that family.
that's true.
Justifiable.
That was justified.
Just gotta mention the name.
Alright, you know what? Fine. Let's go get the car.
all right.
I'm tired of walking anyway.
So go ahead and give me a vehicle roll. You're going to bring the vehicle around.
That's a 17.
Perfect. So he comes in. So again, it's Billings, Mei Ling, Raya, and Frankie with Ray driving. Is that right?
Yeah.
Have I forgotten anyone?
No.
All right. So Ray, you're gonna head first up to the marketplace. You park outside of that turn in, but even as you're parking, you can see that it's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
It is being cleaned up. There is a lot of black dust in the air. Basically, that charcoal being brought up as they're moving the dirt and flattening things out. There are a number of tractors, is the best description of it, leveling things, moving stuff around. But people are already starting to build. I'm going to assume that none of you are really versed in building structures, etc., anything like that. But from quick guess, you could believe that the outer structures of all these places, as long as the equipment is available, could be up possibly by tomorrow.
Okay.
As you're looking at sticks being shoved into the ground and canvas being stretched. As you walk in, you're going to go to the store where you were getting the armor. Bless you. The store where you're getting the armor. As you come in, you'll notice that everybody is wearing dark clothing. As you guys come in, the store owner, the one that you guys spoke to, is going to come over, and Ray's going to speak in Egyptian to them. And he'll say stuff, and he's bowing his head. What he's saying is I'm so sorry because of the incident last night, and we were not able to finish your armor. If I could beg your indulgence and have you come back tomorrow, we will surely have it done. We are just finishing burial of the ashes.
The armor's not made due to the incident last night.
Okay. Let's go.
But wait, Billing says. Ask them if they could possibly at least get some of it done this evening. I mean, that way, if anything happens, right? And Mei Ling is just staring at him.
I'm gonna say, do you Yeah, you so. I'm picking up context clues. They're wearing black. I'm assuming this is a grieving thing.
Yes.
And I'm gonna
Yes.
look at him, and I'm gonna say, this family is grieving. We can allow them a day.
Yeah. Okay.
Besides, with Cal the way he is, we're probably going to end up in this town for one more day anyway.
Oh, very good. So Billings, as you guys are walking out, says, "Well, if we're not going to be waiting here, are we going to go to the mask maker's home?"
You know where he lives, right?
Yep. I've been there once.
All right, Frankie. Go ahead and give me a wits roll.
Can I give tracking? Or
You can do tracking. Sure, I'd go with that. That's
Okay.
legitimate.
Is the doctor gonna bring that prosthetic for my poor boy?
I got 18.
Yeah, you make a couple wrong turns, but you are able to make it over there. You come to Abasi's home, who knocks.
I look to you to knock.
I'll knock.
Okay. It's a few moments. You hear some noise within, basically the kind of back and forth, get the door, you get the door, kind of thing. And one of the youngsters, the one from up in the bedroom, comes and opens the door and says, "What?"
Is your father home?
She looks in, looks back, she goes, "Yeah," and then closes the door.
I freaking hate kids.
No matter where you are in the world, they're all little assholes.
Do you say that in English?
Yes.
Alright, I regret sharing my snacks earlier.
A more aggressive knock now.
She comes back, she says, "Yeah,
Can you please go get your father? We need to speak with him.
okay." And this time she doesn't even shut the door. She just turns around and walks away with the door partially open.
Oh yeah, they don't lock their doors here, do they?
Nope, there's no locks on the doors here. At least that's what Ayden said. So maybe a minute comes by and Abasi is telling her, "No, go away, child, go away." He comes up and he says, "Ah, my friends, welcome. Opens the door.
And I guess we walk in. Yeah, I walk in.
No one
Anyone
else
else?
does.
Yeah, if he's inviting us in.
Yep, he
then
does
we
appear to
should
be
follow.
inviting you in.
Apparently, the party has all turned into vampires.
I'm sorry. You didn't invite each of us specifically.
I need you to be more specific.
So Billings says to him, so, as he's walking in, Billings says, so, were you able to finish the masks?
He wants to know if you were able to create the masks that he asked for.
Well, Bossy says, oh, yes, give me just a moment.
Will you
Yeah.
ask after the boy?
And he walks away into the side room, comes back with the mask, and hands it to Billings.
How's your boy doing after?
He's doing better. Has the doctor, with what happened last night, has the doctor been able to make the prosthetics, begin work on what he had promised?
He's started work, but last night was well, I'm sure you saw at least a little of it. How
Yes. Oh, absolutely. We have just finished fixing the hole in the roof.
there was a hole. Why was there a hole in the roof?
Rocks.
All right, sure.
And you're talking to her,
Yeah.
to him, to Frankie in English, right?
I'm sorry to hear that. All right. You lot have anything else you need?
Billings says, "No, this is perfect." And he puts it up on, kind of locks it in place, and says, "Rawr." Smiling again, looks at the
I
floor.
groan from all the way across town.
Tell him we'll bring the plans tomorrow.
All right. We seem to believe that the doctor can bring the prosthetics tomorrow. So.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, that's good.
I
We
said
shall wait.
plans.
What time? What time are you thinking?
Well, we've got to head out tomorrow, so
Morning.
I'd say before midday sometime.
Very good. They are saying that most of the marketplace should be set up. Possibly between high noon and 3. So we'll begin heading that way at that point.
All right.
And everyone in your group is fine?
Yes, everyone made it out just fine.
Good. So he'll walk you back to the front door. You guys don't say anything, and
Yeah, I think that concludes
you guys
our...
load back up in the vehicle, and Billings sits down and says, "So I heard that a group of you yesterday were, oh God, was it yesterday? Were able to go see the old embassy. We drive by."
Absolutely not.
Fine.
So Billings is kind of looking at you like you slapped him.
I wish.
Why?
It's haunted, right?
It's extremely haunted.
I am perfect. That would be wonderful. We don't have to stop. We just drive by, right?
Raya has spoken.
I think it's a terrible idea.
So
Well,
the group's been talking, and one of us has to leave. And it's not Mei Ling. It's not Frankie. It's not the doctors. It's not Cal or his friend.
I feel like we're running out of people, good man.
And it's not Raya. And it's not me.
So that either means Ray or Billings?
No, I said not Ray.
So Billings, can you, by the process of elimination, can you figure out who needs to go?
Yeah, Billings. Can you figure it out? Can you do that math,
I
Billings?
feel you're being so rude to Sara.
Picture like us all like lining up for the survivor camera.
All right, so
Just you wait. Billings is somehow going to be crucial to this whole expedition.
I will die first.
well, so remember that really what Billings is there for you guys is the Zeppelin. He's not specifically there to go on the journeys with you. And the other thing is that you guys have never gotten any suggestion that he is intending to go with you either.
Yeah, tag along. He's like the little brother of the group. He just wants to join us for things.
For him. This is a tourist
Exactly.
thing. Yeah.
So think about him for the commerce side of things. If this sets up, the whole thing that you guys are now starting to realize with the way Billings is Grayling suggested, why don't you go down there and see if this would be a good place to take as part of the tours that you're going with the Zeppelins. You know, if you're going to set this thing up as luxury transport and that, why don't you go there without reminding him that nobody's spoken with Egypt in 80 years. Nobody knows what's going on down there, at least officially. So Billings is on vacation in his mind. Billings is thinking that this is tourism. And so far, he really has missed the vast majority of the negative things. He was not watching the animate circles outside of Russia. He did get to partake in Vienna. He, to my memory, did not leave the Zeppelin when you guys were in Warsaw. So, and in Prussia, really the only thing is he was shuttled out a little earlier in the evening because the Prussian military asked him to. He may or may not have heard that it was because of the attack of the anarchists. So for Billings, you guys know pretty clearly where he's at. Mei Ling is way more in the loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we like Mei Ling.
I have done my job.
Yeah.
So we'll hire a babysitter or leave him at the local opium den and come back in a couple of months.
Okay, Billings,
how
we
long
need
have
you to stay here.
So, Ray, where do you go? Billings has asked. Raya said no. Where are you going now?
Well, Ray potentially knows what happened at the embassy, and he doesn't particularly want to go back to basically what's probably just going to be a ruin.
All right. Fine. Not the embassy. How about we take a drive around the town? You've been here. I believe you said 6 years now.
8 years.
8 years. 8 years. 8 years. I was close. Well, how about a secondary tour? We got that wonderful tour when we came in, as Ayden told us about a few things, but all we were able to do was go up on the eastern side of town. How about we head? We don't even have to go by the embassy. And he turns to Raya and says, "I'm not trying to pull a fast one on you. I'm saying, but let's drive around. Let's go through some of the nicer residential zones. Possibly let's drive by the airstrip. Let's see if anyone's landed. We could make our way to the Far East Side. Maybe we could go to the National History Museum. Something.
A museum in this town?
We've been locked away. Yeah, and you wouldn't necessarily know that there is one. No, that's not true. You would, because Ayden would have talked about it.
I don't know where it is, but I know it exists.
But we've been inside for so long, and the beautiful sunlight.
I mean, I don't really see a problem with that, but ultimately it's up to you two.
And Billings looks right at Raya when he says that. And when he says, "I don't see a problem with that," and he's looking right at you. Bouncing a
The
little.
way I see it, we go back and we're basically just going to be sitting around doing nothing anyway.
Which room did you put the hash in?
I'm curious. I'm like, it's Billings high.
Cut to the doctor. Where in the devil is my hash?
Right? Well, I'm like, in the place.
You know, and Wolf's like, you know, the thing that's really going to give the kick to this particular batch of Stitch? Some hashish, as he just talks
Remember
agent.
Remember that you started with one full knuckle worth. So
I suppose
I go to
not
my
a whole
garden.
lot can go wrong at the museum.
exactly. Good. Let's go. And he comes up, pats you on the shoulder, Ray.
Blight chronic.
No, I go to my garden and I'm like, where did all my opium poppies go?
Good news.
All right. Well, good luck. So I guess we're going to get in the car. And I'm gonna...
Yep. So again, it's more, if my memory serves, it's more bus-like than car.
I don't know what it is.
No, I'm just saying from what you guys rented, it's more bus-like than
It's
car.
like the Model T limo. I was imagining, so it's really long, but they're like bench seats, and then like.
All right. Ray doesn't know where the Natural History Museum is.
No, actually, Ray does. Ray
Okay.
would, because Ayden would have talked to him about it, and there's probably times you may not have driven there, but you may have walked there.
All right, fine. Fair enough.
That was the place we walked by, and you said, "Is this another one of your warehouses?" And I just laughed.
So one of the things he said, so let's start with the airstrip. I haven't seen it, since we landed. Let's see if somebody else has come in.
Not a whole lot.
we're
Of,
going to go to the museum. That's what we agreed upon.
not a whole lot of people come in, really.
Well,
It's basically just people from Alexandria, and that's it.
really? And at this point, he sits in the seat right behind you, sits down, and he says, "So you're saying that nobody flies in here?"
I mean, not really. Cairo.
Oh yes.
Cairo is pretty Well, heck, most of Northern Africa is pretty much secluded with the way that our blight is set up, sandstorms and such. It's difficult enough to fly in here normally, so we
had no trouble at all. You guys all hear him say that. We had no trouble at all. I guess with an experienced pilot. And then the Zeppelin
experienced pilot being the key word.
Yes.
And the fact that you guys came in on your freaking Zeppelin?
Yes. So the Alexandrians, they use Zeppelins, balloons. How do they come normally? And you know, Ray, that they normally come by boat or by train.
Well, boat is preferable, but there is a train that goes from Alexandria to Cairo.
Oh, so you're saying no one uses the airfield at all?
Not regularly.
Who owns the airfield?
I believe his
Wouldn't
name
that
is
just
Mr.
be-
Billings.
Wouldn't that be not the Sharif?
The Khalif.
The Khalif. Thank you.
So you tell him that, or do you question? Like,
I actually don't know who owns the airfield. I would assume
You
it's the
envision-
Khalif.
Right, that's a good guess. So what would Ray say?
Well, I would assume that it's at least partially run by the Khalif, but
The palace. After you drive us past the airstrip and the National History Museum, could we drive up to the palace?
No.
All of a
And
sudden,
he again looks at Raya.
We're going to the museum.
all of a sudden the
and then
screen
we're
goes
going
black
home.
and it's the gang gets Billings' head chopped off.
yeah, the palace might be a bit of a tall order. They might. Guards are a little antsy around here, to say the least.
Okay. All right. So airstrip and then the National History Museum, yes?
I mean, it's just an airstrip. It's up to you, Raya.
What could possibly go wrong in an airstrip?
Frankie's got like a chunk of scap and he's just gnawing on it.
I am here to keep you safe.
Yes. No. I trust you. You have done a fine job. Look, hale and healthy. Nothing wrong. Thank you, Raya. Thank you. The airstrip, yes?
No, we need to just go to the museum and then go home. That's enough for today.
Meanwhile, at the airstrip, the fourth pyramid of Giza is now rising up in pure obsidian darkness.
Okay, all right. Well, then on to the National History Museum.
Yeah. I'd say that 80% of the contact Cairo has with anyone is basically along the Nile.
Ah, yes. Okay. Very good. Have you, and he's going to keep talking with you, Wolf and Wright, there was a discussion.
Yes, so it's probably in one of the more slower down periods when there has to let things boil for like 15 minutes or something, and sets the timer. Well, sitting there, it's like,
I'm just like scritching ideas into my journal.
and periodically Wolf's been like taking notes, and at one point he drew his own blood and put it in a vial to like research for later. Like he's got
He's
this down.
side researching.
He's side researching. The man's mind is like. But the thing is, he's done this so many times. He knows the exact timing on things, so that he's like, okay, this, that. Okay, I have time to do this bit. Jot this note down. Time to do this. But and it's about the 15-minute mark where he's letting these things boil before he has to put like the next ingredients. And he's like, so, what was your second opinion, Doctor?
He asked you that from the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just... You probably have to ask me a
Yeah.
second time,
Yeah.
and I'll be like...
Of Cal.
Oh, of Cal. Well, I looked over the work you did. It was good. It was better than adequate, and I think Cal will heal up just fine with it. Reminds me of some of the work I did when I was your age.
Well, I believe most of the, I'm glad you recognized it. Most of those stitch work was from the books I read that you had, and papers you had written.
Really now? And I close my journal. You've read my work.
Yes.
That's what you take from this.
That is what I take from it.
Of course. Your surgery practices, most of them quite traditional, but in certain other aspects, quite revolutionary.
Yes, I do have to admit I have a few techniques named after myself. The Wright technique is used quite extensively.
It's specifically used for abdominal work, Doctor.
Yes, fascinating. I find that interesting that you've read my work. I figured, I haven't haven't been to school in some time. I've taught with that, but as you say, some of my work is a little bit more traditional. Fundamentals and all that.
Mm.
But, interesting. Go ahead.
It leads me to another question. I didn't get a chance to ask Cal about it, but when I was doing the surgery, I noticed that, I did doing my stitching, and I admit I wasn't quite fully in my head at the time, but the more I think about it, Cal had some work done.
Say, some work done, you say?
Some work done.
What's your diagnosis of the work? What do you think? What kind of work?
Well, hard to say. And like I said, I wasn't completely fully in my mind. I was more focused on getting the stitch work done. But the more I think about it, the more I realize there was some surgery done to Cal's chest. Plastic surgery. It was very skillfully done. Very hard to for most people to notice. I'm not sure whether or not it's because Cal had an injury before. Or he sort of pauses and he thinks about it. Aside from injury, the only other thing I could see would be gender reassignment.
Well, now that is an interesting idea. You are guessing... Well, what would you say then? Are you thinking more injury? Cal does live quite a fast and adventurous life. It's very possible that he's taken a wound to the chest, a wound or two to the chest. I'll step a little closer because I'm tired of yelling across the table.
Wolf sort of, he does this usual habit of his where he puts his thumb to one temple, fingers there, and his and the pinky down to the bottom of his chin as he sort of like thinks for a moment and goes, I do not believe it was a simple injury. Regardless, surgery work was quite phenomenal. To be honest, I wouldn't have noticed had I not been paying close attention.
Yes, that kind of work. I would say there's few that can do it.
Yes, and I think that's why Cal called you for a second opinion.
I'll kind of lean back a little bit. What are you saying, Wolf? Dr. Wolf?
The Wright's loop. It's this particular stitch meant to be very, very hard to detect, almost barely seen to the naked eye. Few men have been able to master your technique.
That is true. It's a marvel of the modern times, that stitch. I was quite proud of it when I developed it. I developed it when I was just a little older than you, in fact. It is quite hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a few get close. Are you saying you saw the right stitch there?
Yes, the right loop.
Right loop.
And it was textbook.
That's an interesting find. I'm actually quite impressed that you were able to find such a stitch.
Like I said, I wasn't thinking too clearly at the time, but now that the day's gone by and I've had more time to think on it. In your opinion, would you say that stitch was close to your work, or would you say you did it yourself?
Well, my boy, I've got to say I did find the stitch myself. And after examining it, I have to say it's miraculously close to my... Why, if I didn't know better, I'd say I would have done it myself. It's interesting how the world works, how it brings people together.
Well, Cal seems to have a vast array of knowledge.
That he does.
Possibly the fact that he was in the presence of someone who had created that particular stitch himself. Possibly wanted your opinion on it.
Yes, make sure that it was done properly. If, let's just say that was the kind of surgery that Cal had undergone. That is something that does require follow-up. It does require careful tending to make sure everything is done correctly. It's not an easy surgery. Very few people can do it correctly. So it would be smart to follow up with a surgeon as skilled as I. Yes,
You might say a peerless surgeon.
A peerless surgeon, even. And so, Dr. Wolf, what say you of this information?
Well, if it wasn't you, I have to say I'm a little envious of them having been able to master that stitch quite so well. My extra digit can sometimes get in the way.
You have a keen eye, and I think something like that should be rewarded. Perhaps I could give you some tips on the stitch itself. Help you master it a little more. Who better to teach you than I?
I'd be very interested, Dr. Wright.
And, you say, we could always discuss this further. If Cal did go through such a surgery, it'd probably be best that not everybody learns of it.
Of course not. The only reason I even asked you about it, because it was very reminiscent of what I had seen when I was in school. It was your stitch and, one of your namesakes as far as the surgical practice. And, well, the only other person I would discuss it with would probably be Cal, just to make sure that there's nothing depending on the nature of the reason for the surgery, I'm not accidentally giving anything that might cause complications.
I believe after the talk with Cal that I've had, it may be best if I do the follow-up work on Cal, make sure things go well enough. Feel free to speak with Cal, but I think Cal may want me to take over the care, so to speak. I mean no disrespect to you in that manner. Simply maybe Cal's wishes. But if you wish to speak to Cal, you may.
If Cal wishes to have you be the primary doctor going forward, then that will be Cal's decision. I will ascertain that myself.
Wonderful. Excellent!
And at that point, the mixture starts bubbling. You're at the point where you need to step in.
Yeah, and that's the point where Wolf suddenly turns back to...
And I just watch as Wolf goes off. And I smile a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many people who could find that little loop.
Yep, that is true. Back to the group in the vehicle. Ray, you will pull up to the National History Museum. As you pull up, it's a fairly long backward drive, a switchback drive. You drive one way, then the next. You make a third loop. As you guys come up to the top, you guys will see 10 EMP with weapons, with full guns, not truncheons, out front. And we can stop there. And we'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to another NCRP Productions podcast. To stay on top of everything we're doing, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and like us on Facebook, all at NCRP Productions. You can show your support and help us continue to produce content by joining our Patreon. We offer additional podcasts like our B-sides and have GM materials, maps, and other fun things you can discover over time. You can find our podcasts on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, and many other fine podcast sites. Just look for us at NCRP Productions. We value your thoughts, so please don't hesitate to leave us feedback or comments. And if you would like to contact us directly, you can email us at ncrpproductions@gmail.com.